Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Chesapeake Weekly. Health literacy is an important piece of a healthy community. Communities with poor health literacy see residents with more emergency room visits, more hospital stays, and higher mortality rates. It's the mission of a new regional group, Healthier Hampton Roads, to improve the area's health literacy. And nobody understands literacy quite like Chesapeake Public Library Director Amanda Jackson. Here she is with more on this program.
Healthier Hampton Roads is an initiative across all of Hampton Roads to empower people living in the community to know more about their health, to be more empowered to make the right decisions for their health, and basically just be more educated about the things that are happening to them and happening to their loved ones. So as soon as I heard about this initiative, they used the term health literacy over and over again in that initial webinar that they had at ODU, and that caught my ear. I was ready. It was all in, because libraries are a natural destination for people who are trying to get more information about their health. When you or a loved one is diagnosed with something or dealing with a particular health issue or environmental issue that's affecting your health, you want all the information that you can get, and a library is the place that you're going to come to find that information. So we are partnering with them and hopefully helping to spread the word about how to live healthier in Hampton Roads, and also to help engage people to learn what they can get at their libraries.
When you donate blood, you can save as many as 3 lives. And while the Red Cross is always looking for donations, sometimes their supply gets dangerously low. That's what happened in our area earlier this month. Here's more.
There is a constant need for blood. Actually, right now here in January, we have a critical need for blood right now, which means we only have a 3-day blood supply on the shelves, which is kind of scary. If we were to have a disaster or a severe car accident on the highway, we could go through that blood very quickly. So there is a constant need for blood all the time. We ask donors to donate as often as they can, which is 6 times a year. But unfortunately, blood donors only usually donate once a year. And if we could get all blood donors that come once a year to come twice a year, we would never have a blood shortage.
Wow.
So we really encourage folks to come out, as the need is constant. We collect blood almost every single day of the year.
Shannon helped us learn all about the blood donation process, and we filmed that experience for you in a recent episode of Peak Life. You can find that on youtube.com/Chesapeake TV. Chesapeake Regional Healthcare is expanding and renovating its medical center campus to continue to provide state-of-the-art, patient-centered care. The Master Facility Plan expansion project will double the size of the Sidney M. Omen Cancer Treatment Center, add a new critical care tower for additional cardiac diagnostic space, surgical capabilities, and intensive care units, and it will expand OB rooms, upgrading them to a spa-like, family-centered atmosphere. The $85 million project is expected to be complete in 2022. For more Chesapeake Regional Healthcare information, visit chesapeakeregional.com. The Chesapeake Redevelopment and Housing Authority does important work all throughout our community, and in order to make that happen, they rely on adequate funding. Well, they recently earned a couple of grants that will help boost critical programs right here in Chesapeake.
2 grant awards from HUD, and the first one is a new grant for us called the Foster to Youth to Independence. And really, it's a partnership between us and the Department of Human Services with the city. And so we've entered into an agreement to prevent 25 youth who are aging out of foster care from becoming homeless. And so we will be managing all of the housing piece, as well as partnering with Human Services to provide some really hands-on supportive services for those youth. And then the second grant that we received is a continuation of our Family Self-Sufficiency Grant, which is really a fundamental tenet of what we hope to do here at CRHA, and that is to elevate folks out of public housing and the need for public assistance in general. And so that grant is $167,000 a year, and it enables us to employ 3 full-time caseworkers who will manage a portfolio of program participants in their pursuit of self-sufficiency.
We also want to remind everyone that the CRHA is opening its wait list and accepting applications for the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program. Anyone interested in applying must do so online on Thursday, January 30th between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. Only online applications will be accepted. You can access that application at crhava.myhousing.com. The first event of the new Chesapeake Forum is this week. This exciting new program will bring educational and inspirational speakers to our city. They start off big with award-winning journalist Jane Pauley coming to speak on Wednesday, January 29th. The Chesapeake Forum is run by volunteers. We recently spoke to board member Dan Bannister about the program.
Well, I think it's going to be unique for the city of Chesapeake because it hasn't been done before. And when you watch the news nowadays, you see, the media tells you how divisive everybody is. And I don't agree, and we want to prove that by bringing everybody together with the Chesapeake Forum. And to start it off, we're bringing in Jane Pauley from CBS, the morning show. And our second speaker is going to be Mae Jamison, and she is a retired astronaut and the first African-American astronaut. She's a physician also. And the third speaker is going to be Ronan Tynan. And one thing that we're excited about is the high school interaction. To open up for Jane Pauley, Deep Creek Band is going to open up for us. I think it's the orchestra is going to open up for the first speaker, and then we're going to have a representative from each one of the high schools come and have an opportunity to interview each one of the speakers. So I think that's going to be very exciting also.
Time is running out for you to get tickets for the women's division of Hampton Roads Chamber of Commerce Chesapeake's Woman of the Year celebration. The event takes place on February 8th at 6 p.m. at the Conference Center. This year's honoree is Mrs. Linda Bird, a former Chesapeake Public School educator and administrator. Take a look at this part of her interview from the January edition of A Closer Look.
But probably the highlight of my career was opening Hickory High School. Because that was the first time we were opening a new high school with a new attendance zone in decades. And we were bringing students together from Deep Creek High and Great Bridge High and their respective middle schools. And so it was kind of like students left their schools in June as Hornets or as Wildcats.
Right.
And when they walked in September, they are now Hawks, Hickory Hawks.
Right.
And that was, it was just wonderful seeing that whole school come together and the camaraderie and the school spirit.
Right.
And the teachers came from all over the system and out of the state. And so everyone had to work together to make it work. So the students didn't miss out on instruction.
The Army Corps of Engineers will host a citizen information meeting to discuss the Deep Creek Bridge replacement project on Thursday, January 30th from 5 to 7 p.m. at Deep Creek Middle School. Representatives from the Army Corps will give a presentation which will start around 6 p.m., learn the latest on the project, view exhibits, and ask questions of project staff. You can learn more about the project by visiting its webpage at cityofchesapeake.net. On Tuesday, February 4th, there will be a town hall meeting at Grassfield High School from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Town hall meetings allow residents to bring up their questions and concerns in a less formal setting than the usual city council meetings at City Hall. This town hall meeting will use an open house format in an effort to get your questions and concerns addressed in a quicker, more efficient manner. There will be no presentation, so you're welcome to show up whenever is convenient for you within that time frame. Now, when you walk into the meeting, you'll find stations for different topics so that you can go straight to the source. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of Chesapeake Weekly. We'll see you next week.